The worst part of any video is an intro. Shouldn't exist.
I agree. I re-record mine like 3 or 4 times for every single video.
Hello everyone and welcome to BearTalks. Today we are joined by AsgardsChamp.
Hey guys, what's up?
So today we're going to be talking about casual gaming and gaming culture. But we're going to start off with something quite nice and simple. AsgardsChamp, what was the first game you ever played?
So is this first game or first Total War game?
Let's go first ever game, which could be quite far back, so what can you remember?
Yeah, wow. So I got a Sega Mega Drive from, I was on holiday actually at the time, and there was one in, so this is like way after it came out, and there was one in like, it was like a little shop that we found, I think we were down in Cornwall in the south of England. Yeah, my dad bought a Sega Mega Drive when we were down there, and ended up playing Streets of Rage for that whole holiday, and my mum was really annoyed about it. That was awesome. But yeah, bloody hell, that's like, what, 25 years ago now or something? But yeah, Streets of Rage, that was the first game, yeah, on the Sega Mega Drive.
That is really an absolute classic, I will say.
Yeah.
Excellent, go on. So Sega Mega Drive is the beginning. What brought you into PC gaming?
So I got really into strategy games actually. At one point, I think it was my cousin. One of my cousins had a PC, and he had Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, and I played it. Yeah, I played that at his house, and I was absolutely hooked. But the computer that we had at the time just wasn't good enough to run it.
Oh wow!
So that's when I learned about
back in the old days, yeah.
Oh yeah. When that game like first came out, I couldn't tell you what year it was, but it was like a while ago. And yeah, it's our computer couldn't run it, so then I had to because I really wanted to play it. It's like researching how can I play this game, realize that graphics cards are a thing. And that was it there. It's all downhill from there.
Got introduced to the GPU and you became the slave ever since.
Exactly. Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was my introduction to PC gaming. Yeah, Command & Conquer. Yeah, I remember it well.
No, an absolute classic. Go on, coming from what was an arcade style game, once more quite a hardcore gaming system, all the way through to strategy gaming consistently has been considered kind of the pinnacle of nerd gaming, which I stand by. Why is it then that you would consider yourself to be more of a casual gamer?
I guess even when I'm playing strategy games, it's a case of just wanting to enjoy it. I think I tend not to get too bogged down in, especially with like modern Total War and things like that. You can get really bogged down in like the statistics and all the stats for each unit and that kind of thing. And I just tend not to enjoy it like that. I prefer to just like put myself in the mind of the general of the army and that kind of thing, and just in my own head role play it a little bit. I guess it's I just.
So is it this kind of the role play narrative in strategy that you particularly enjoy then?
Well, that's definitely what got me into Total War. I think when I was younger, being able to feel like you're the general of an army, it's just cool, isn't it? Especially when you're a kid. And I try and like chase that feeling even now as an adult.
Yes, that is the gaming dragon, as it were. Just out of curiosity, which Total War was your first? Sorry.
Yeah, so I think it was Medieval, the first Medieval.
Excellent. Original Age of Sprites. 2004? 2?
Oh no, I think Shogun was 2002, and then I think Medieval might have been 2004. I can't actually remember, to be honest, but it was around that time.
Shogun's 2000, and then I can't remember if it's 2001 or 2002 as Mongol Invasion. Let's have a quick look. See, Medieval Total War. You can tell I edit these. So Medieval Total War was 2002. Wow, it's even earlier than I thought.
Yeah. And again, that was another one where got it and then couldn't play it because it wouldn't run on my PC that we had at the time. So I think I got it in 2002 when it came out, or around that time, and didn't actually end up playing it probably until maybe the year after. And yeah, to be honest, I played it and I didn't really enjoy it. I remember not really liking it, and it wasn't until Rome 1 came out, that's when I got like absolutely hooked. Yeah, which I think that was 2004, wasn't it? First Rome. So I'd have been
Yes.
14 at the time. Yeah, and I was absolutely hooked on it. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. So yes, Rome coming out in 2004, back in September, many moons ago. So do you
Indeed,
think the shift then to graphical fidelity and 3D is kind of what made a big impression on you?
Yeah, I think so. And there was, I don't know if you remember, there was that TV show as well. Was it Time Commanders?
Yes, Time Commander.
Yeah, they used the like Rome Total War, didn't they, for that show?
Yeah, it was. I
Some
think it was a
version of it.
modified engine, or it was like the pre-release engine or something.
Yeah, yeah. So I remember watching that, and I really enjoyed that TV show. And then the game came out, and I was like, oh my god, that game's from that TV show. It's amazing. And I think that was another reason why I got so like hyped about it as a kid, as you do, you know. Yeah.
You ever get annoyed at that TV show, just thinking, wow, I could do that better?
Yeah, yeah. Now definitely, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's there was some episodes on YouTube that I watched recently actually, and it was yeah. Looking back on it, you just think, yeah, you just want to shout at the people who are playing, don't do it, don't do it,
Don't give up the hill. Oh no, but so yes, there's quite a history of gaming. Then you've gone well, all the way from Sega consoles through to the glorious Master PC gaming race.
Indeed.
So how do you feel sort of your relation with gaming, your dynamic? Would you consider yourself to have been a hardcore gamer, becoming more casual?
No, to be honest, I think always I've played quite casually. The kind of games that require that kind of hardcore mindset, I don't know. But I think an example like COD or something like that, you know, I never really got into that sort of thing in terms of console gaming anyway. And yeah, with PC gaming again, it was with strategy games in particular. It was always a case of just wanting to kind of just enjoy it. Really, I never played competitively or anything like that. I rarely play online with strategy games. You know, against other people. I've had a few friends that we've like kind of always linked up and played together.
Yeah.
But that's friendly competition. It's not the same thing, you know.
Yes, definitely. As a miniature tabletop gamer, playing with a mate and playing in a tournament are entirely different. Even just frames of mind at the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's very interesting. So bringing to that idea of like you weren't really into these sort of Call of Duties, or I'd imagine the more prominent Rainbow Six Siege and Apex Legends, these being the e-games right now, esports.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that casual gaming is kind of more linked to specific genres of gaming, or can it be used within every style of game?
Yeah, I think so. It just depends what you make of it, right? So, I mean, you can use Total War as an example. Myself, I don't play. I mean, we discussed this before, but you know, I don't play on Legendary. Very rarely when I'm playing on my own, I play on hard. I just don't enjoy it as much, you know. I prefer to just get myself into the mindset of the character I'm playing as, and you know, just enjoy it more in that sense. But then you can, if you want, play on Legendary and min-max everything and take it really seriously. I think any game's like that, really. Like I say, I use Call of Duty as an example before. Like I did play Call of Duty, like when I was at uni and stuff. It was like the game to play, but I never took it that seriously. You know, just play it as and when. But I had friends who definitely took it seriously. So there's definitely levels to it. But in any game, I think you can take it how you want it, I think.
No, I think that's it's actually a really good message. I definitely agree with you. You can take any game as seriously or as not seriously as you want. At my university, the really big game for the time was, what's it called? Smash Bros? The Nintendo one?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone playing that, constantly challenging me to matches. And I was like, it's not Dead or Alive. I don't care.
Yeah. No, you're right, though. It's just like, I think people tend to forget that, actually, especially the internet age. Everyone trying to tell each other like how they should be playing games. You know, it's for you to decide, isn't it? Play how you want to play it, enjoy it.
Now that is very interesting because, of course, you yourself running a YouTube channel. Do you feel you've had to deal with any of that? So, in the comics and in the comment sections, for example.
Not really, actually. Not yet. Maybe I'm just not big enough yet. Maybe that's what it is. But
that's a strange idea. We live in hope that you become big enough to get hassled. Fingers crossed.
yeah, exactly. No, quite the opposite, actually. I've had a couple of comments from people saying that they appreciate that I don't min-max everything, and because I think on YouTube in particular, I think you get a lot of that. People have that play style. It seems to be the norm, at least from my experience anyway. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. To anyone who plays, particularly Warhammer 2, it's one of the largest Total War ones. Constantly I get questioned about this use of ranged units, the meta being use them to reduce your losses. I'm really not fussed. I like my greatswords. I enjoy using giant axe-wielding nutters when it comes to the berserkers of Norska. It's just a more fun way to play. Why min-max it? What's the point?
Yeah, totally agree. That's the approach I take to it as well. Just do what you think's cool, do what you enjoy. Yeah, that's the main thing, I think.
Well, sticking with this idea of Total War, not just because it's min-maxed a lot these days, but also because this is a grand strategy genre. This is something that doesn't essentially lend itself naturally to it. Would you say that as time's gone by, it's become more casual friendly?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think it's been streamlined in order to cater for like a wider audience, which I think to do that you have to kind of, dumb certain things down to the point where you can use the term, it makes it more casual, I guess, in that sense. But it kind of has to do that to grow, I think. Like I'm not mad at them for it because they have to do it. I think it's
fair enough.
Smart business decision, I guess.
I think even someone who appreciates playing games like Hearts of Iron 4, where you can spend a good 20-30 minutes just looking through panels and do nothing. It's kind of amazing. Even I can appreciate that the changes moving in, particularly from Medieval 2 into, say, Empires and such, getting rid of all those panels, which I would honestly never look at, was kind of a good thing. I didn't like that as a kid, at least.
Yeah, I think I agree. Maybe if I was like, this age now, like I am now, at that time, I would have felt differently. But yeah, I think I agree. When I was younger, especially, it's like kind of, I don't know, you look for that kind of quick fix, don't you? And that was given to us with Total War, I think, at that time.
I think now that is very interesting. Do you feel that they're essentially delivering Total War then to a younger audience? Because they've made it... Yeah, I think if I started Total War now, it would have been a lot easier. I might even been able to have figured out Empire management as a kid.
Yeah. I mean, I never really thought about that, actually, but maybe to some extent. It'd be interesting to kind of look at that, actually, and see what sort of demographic they're trying to target. Because obviously they want to keep their old fans happy, but they also need to grow the franchise as well. So I think the best way to do that is to probably target the younger audience and definitely dumbing down some of those older, more clunky mechanics that did require a few extra panels and a few extra bits of UI to look at. I mean, you can see it with the remaster that they've just done. They've completely changed the UI, right? And I think that's, at least to my mind, in an attempt to get more people into the game who otherwise wouldn't have been. Yeah.
Yeah,
interesting.
Have you played the Rome remaster? Yeah.
Not yet. No, not yet. I'm gonna wait for a sale, I think.
not a bad idea, to be honest. If you played the original, you have played the remaster.
Yeah.
But I can say initially I was a little against some of the changes they made to the UI, but actually the building, what you call building browser panel, their rehaul of that was absolutely phenomenal. I've only used it for a few hours and I've fallen in love with it. So much better than the old one.
I don't think I've seen it, actually. I might have to look that up. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
To say, this is very sad, but you need to look out for that panel. Not the game, just the panel.
UI experts here, yeah.
Expert. He said it, not me. Oh no, so that's very interesting. So you're feeling that gaming is becoming a little more casual as time goes by, not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but do you feel with that it's lost a little something?
Yeah, I think certain genres more than others. Definitely, the trend in gaming in general, at least to my mind, is that things have definitely just got easier. Like a lot more is just given to you as a player. I remember playing like, I'll use Zelda as an example. So like a Link to the Past. Have you ever played that? It's like
I'm just trying to think. Like the Zeldas, the first Zelda I ever played was Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, it wasn't. It was actually the Game Boy one. I just didn't even realize it was Zelda until my uncle showed me. That's how much attention I paid. But my point is, my uncle literally had to show me what to do. I had no idea. I didn't even have a sword. Yeah, those games were... I don't think they were particularly harder. You can still find games as difficult as them, but they're a lot less intuitive and very vague.
I think that's what... Yeah, I think that's the point, is that we get a lot of like hand-holding in games these days. Go back to like a link to the Past as an example. In that game, you're not told where to go. You're not told what to do. You just have to kind of figure it out for yourself. Whereas you look at something like, I don't know, Wind Waker, one of the newer Zeldas, where you're constantly pushed in the right direction. You're constantly told what to do. And I think just the general trend in games these days is that, you have like a mini map with a big flashing dot on there telling you where to go. It kind of takes a little bit of that mystery out of it that I enjoyed as a kid growing up. But all that is to say that I think games are generally getting a bit more casual in that sense. If you use that term. But again, it's for good reason. It's to get more people into the game and make it more accessible for more people. So it makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, no, I'm actually with you. I think a lot of the things that they have kind of lost. I would say it's more just moved into a niche market. And a great example with that vagueness is always going to be Dark Souls or FromSoft, any game they make.
Yeah, definitely. Love those games, by the way. They're awesome.
Yeah, I noticed the cheeky little smirk then. Just
yeah.
still never completed them. The day will come.
No. So you know what? Same here. The only one I finished was Sekiro, which is one of the newer ones, I think. Love that game. That was awesome. Yeah.
Interesting. So you're a casual gamer playing Sekiro and completing it.
Yeah. To be honest, one of the few games I've like really got into enough to take it that seriously. But yeah.
Go on, I'm gonna stick with this a little bit. Why do you feel you really got into Sekiro then?
I have no idea. I can't pinpoint it. I think just the story's really cool. Quite liked the combat mechanic in Sekiro, which I think exists in like Dark Souls and stuff, but not to the same effect in the like countering.
Yeah. So I've only played a little bit of Sekiro and a little bit of Bloodborne, whereas the original Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, played the heck out of them. Yeah, they kind of they do little twists and tweaks to counter systems, and I think the grapple fist, I don't know what to call it, that came into effect a bit in Sekiro as well to the mid game, I think. Yeah,
that's right. But I think those things, I don't know, I just quite enjoy that timing kind of gameplay. You got to time your counter, and then if you mess it up, you're gonna die basically. And that's kind of the opposite of a casual game. But
yeah,
I don't know why that particular mechanic, that particular mechanic just clicked with me. I just enjoyed it, I guess. And it's samurais and stuff. It's cool, right?
Oh yeah. I will say that the setting definitely helps, and the story, I haven't experienced it, but through the inevitability of watching YouTube videos, you will see a fair few spoilers, so I kind of half get what's going on. It looks amazing though, start to finish. Yeah. But on the note of those mechanics being so different to casual, would you say if we were to strip away things like the story from Sekiro, would it stand up on those mechanics, or do you think still more casual would be better?
Good question. But for me, maybe I wouldn't have even kind of like looked at the game if the setting wasn't as cool as it is, if that makes sense. That was a big part of as to why I played it, because I just thought it looked really cool. But I think as a game, it would stand up on its own with in a different setting with those mechanics. I think, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's always been one of these things I've considered with Dark Souls when people say it's the difficulty that keeps them going. I kind of see them more as a sum of their parts. Individually, nothing's that amazing in the original Dark Souls. You can find a lot of the mechanics elsewhere, but no one's brought it together like they did. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely. But again, like the Dark Souls games, I played them a little bit, and again couldn't really get into them because of how hardcore they were. I just felt like I just couldn't get into it. But with Sekiro, yeah, I really can't. I don't know why. I just really clicked with it. I just really enjoyed it. I guess I have moments where I binged it for like a good week or two, and I think that was probably the last game like that I've played, to be fair. So
that's fair enough. That's definitely an interesting point. And I'd actually like to link this into my next question about how the gaming industry is catering for casual gamers, because we do have niche titles such as Dark Souls and whatnot that actually are doing pretty darn well despite having no even vague attempts of trying to appease gamers. They are what they are. You take it or leave it. Do you feel the industry is kind of moving towards these niche markets, or is it just expanding towards casual styles?
I certainly think in like the indie game scene, for example, these niches are sought out and for want of a better word, exploited. To make a game around a certain mechanic or whatever, which appeals to a certain group of people. I think what Dark Souls does, though, it proves that you don't need to make a super accessible game to have a popular, financially successful video game, right? I think a lot of the AAA companies these days, that's what they do. They just don't want to take the risk, right? So they make the games kind of as accessible as possible. Yeah. In my opinion, to the detriment really of the games a lot of the time. There's some great games out there which could be so much better if they would less. I don't want to say less accessible, but if the mechanics were maybe not so dumbed down and not so handholdy. But yeah, I think to answer your question, sorry, got off on a bit of a tangent there.
I was actually gonna try and continue that a little bit, if I may, because accessibility in gaming is something I've been very interested in for quite a while. Actually, from playing games with someone who was colorblind and realizing how many games have color changing options just for that reason, which was kind of amazing to see, to be honest. I never realized it. But would you say this concept of accessibility is being pushed towards reducing difficulty curves and promoting less skill development rather than the more traditional ideas of trying to include everyone regardless of their own physical or mental capabilities?
Yeah, so when I say a game being accessible, I think I'm talking more about the game mechanics being accessible to everyone. It's got a much lower learning curve, to it essentially. So anyone can kind of pick that game up and just run with it. Whereas video games very rarely used to be like that back in the day. When I'm so old now when I say that, but when I was a young lad. And I guess it's probably just more nostalgia. I just miss that because you don't really get it as much anymore. But with like the whole indie game scene blowing up in the last 10 years or so, we are getting a lot more of that. People of my age, making games that they would have liked to play when they were kids, that sort of thing. So, I think the industry's definitely heading, or definitely try and cater to as wider audience as possible in order to make a more financially successful game, essentially. Yeah,
and to be fair, they do have to. They're a business that's That's their job. They'd be doing it wrong if they weren't succeeding on it.
Yep, not bad at it. Not bad at it.
Well, that's the industry. They essentially have to if they want to make money, if they want to be successful. But how do you feel the gaming community views casual gaming?
Yeah, it's a good question, because I think it kind of gets split into camps, right? Especially, as I mentioned before, with the internet age that we live in these days. Everyone's got an opinion online, and I think everyone likes to talk about their opinion online. And I think that the vocal minority there kind of gets seen and heard a lot more.
But I think that's literally what we're doing.
Yeah, well, exactly right. But yeah, I think in terms of the community, I think depending on where you look, you're going to see a different thing, right? I think if you go to like the esports scene, any sort of competition, you're going to get all the hardcore gamers, right, who take it really seriously.
Yeah.
And then you've got things like YouTube, where there's definitely much more casual communities there, and like Twitch and things like that. But you get the full spectrum, really. I think it's widely accepted within the community that I'm trying to think of how to word it. So there's different communities which value different ways of playing these games, if that makes sense.
No, I fully agree with you. There are those people, particularly once more using Total War. Always use Total War. It's the one I know most about.
Yep.
Yeah. If you check on Reddit, there are entire threads pretty much dedicated just to looking at how to min-max this game, how to complete it in the best, most efficient manner. And then you have the threads that I love, which are just looking at those weird and wonderful times they've, for no apparent reason, decided, I don't even know, I'm playing as the Iceni, let's go forth and conquer Numidia. So they just pick up shop, everyone moves down to have a narrative, to have a story to that campaign, not really care about anything else. And then you have historical gamers who purely set out to recreate, so for example, the Roman Empire in Rome Remastered. Worthy challenge.
Yeah. Like I said, it depends where you look, doesn't it, as to what you're going to get.
I was going to say, do you think there's a point where we could basically gather those groups together? Is there a style or something that could unite them, as it were?
I think that gets really difficult, if I'm honest. And it's not something I guess I've given much thought to, but I do think that'll be quite difficult because these different groups of people want very different things, don't they? So almost by definition, you can't please everybody in that regard. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a way to do it, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Put it that way.
Oh, that's fair enough. I will say, whenever there's someone trying to find that middle ground, usually what happens is rather than everyone's happy, everyone's just equally not so happy, if I'm going to put it in a nice way. Yeah,
I think you're right. To be honest, I think with Total War, they actually do. I think the developers do try to do that, though, actually. And I think the very fact that you can do all these different things is kind of testament to that as well. The options there, right?
Yeah. Any kind of sandbox, really, I feel kind of provides that opening for players to take it in any way they want, develop the game as they wish. I still wish there were a lot more options in the starting screens for how you set up your campaign. But that's just my personal opinion. I will ask on that note, have you played any of the Paradox games, Paradox Interactive ones?
Yeah, a couple of them. I think my first introduction to Paradox was the Game of Thrones mod or a Song of Ice and Fire mod of Crusader Kings 2. I was really into Game of Thrones, and that had me absolutely hooked. And then from there, I was like, oh, what's the base game like? I'd never played it before. So yeah, tried Crusader Kings 2 as well.
I love that you started with the mod and then got into the game.
Yeah,
that's how we do it.
That's how it went for me. Yeah, exactly. Then got into Stellaris when that came out. I absolutely love Stellaris. I've not played it in a while now, actually, and I know there's been quite a few updates since I last played, but yeah, I really enjoyed that game.
See, that's another interesting one. So just to start off, when you begin a Paradox interactive game, Stellaris and Crusader Kings being great examples for it, you have so many options to start with. You can go Iron Man mode, you can go so many years, you can go for different areas of a giant map. Basically, the difficulty is tailored to you. Do you think this should be something more commonly seen in gaming, this options to tailor it to your choice?
I mean, yeah, that would be great, but it does require obviously more resources from the developers, right? So they have to factor that in. But yeah, you're asking me if I want to see it, definitely. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I will say I'm with you. I stand by give me the options. I want to play this as I like. We always have to consider the developer's intention. Do you think by giving the players these options, are we denying the intended effect the game is supposed to have by the developer, the creator of the game?
I think if you're making a sandbox game like Crusader Kings, like Stellaris, I don't think as a developer you can have that mindset. Like you want to, because you can't push players into a certain direction if you're giving them all these options, right? So it again depends on the genre of game. If we're talking about strategy games or sandbox, more grand strategy like Stellaris and the like, then yeah, I don't think you can expect that really. Yeah.
I'll be very interested to hear what you have to say once you've tried some of the updates for Stellaris, because they have introduced a little bit of a narrative to that one. But no, in general, I 100% agree with you. Once you're giving those options, that sandbox nature takes over, and it's more just about fun, really.
Yeah, it's like the kind of the things that grow out of a sandbox like that, and giving the player options, things that even the developers don't necessarily expect to happen can happen, and that's kind of the beauty of it, right? That's what's good about it, I think.
No, 100%. I think that's, for me at least, I always see that as the reason why so many of these grand strategies, but any kind of sandbox game in general, survives so long is who knows what's going to happen next. You start up a new campaign, new mission, even in Minecraft, a new world. There's no way of knowing what there will be there, so it's fun every time.
Yeah, agree completely. Yeah.
Well, to finish us off, we've had a look at how the industry, how the community is affecting casual gamers. What do you feel casual gaming provides the industry and the community? Does it give anything back?
I guess it grows the industry for sure. It allows more people to play the game, so we then get more money into the industry. We get hopefully better games out of that, right? So I guess that's one way of giving back.
Sorry, I'm just sat here thinking about so many phone games that have come out. Even I can't remember the name of it, but Elder Scrolls did a phones game as well.
Blades.
Is it Elder Scrolls Blades? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Well, I've just got it up on here. Oh my days! It has its own website. That should never be allowed to exist. But when things like this are being created that are, I hardly even think they should be called games, personally.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm very sorry. I'm speaking so slowly. I'm trying to do this without falling to naughty words, children. We should not do them. Teacher says so. But when we're looking at things such as this, do you think casual gaming perhaps has gone a little bit too far?
Yeah, 100%. But I don't think you can have. So these companies realize how much money they can make from these sorts of games. It's going to happen, isn't it? You can't stop that from happening. It's that's kind of the extreme on the other end, right? So you've got super hardcore gaming over here, and then you've got super casual gaming over here. Most people sit in the middle, right? But you get a lot of people who, do enjoy these mobile games, or I say enjoy, probably get addicted to them. But that's another conversation, I think.
Yes, that is a chat for another day. But a very fair point to make. Yeah, most gamers are going to fall into the central categories. They enjoy them a little. They enjoy other things a little as well. Well, considering that it has expanded the industry so much, what do you feel going forward casual gaming will start to do, or can we see it doing more of?
Well, I guess I would hope that kind of the developers of games like console games, PC games, not talking about mobile here, but they'll take the
Real
good things.
games.
Yeah, real games. Yeah. Hopefully, you would hope they would take the good aspects that come out of these mobile games and things like that, not all the bad ones that they seem to be doing at the moment, like loot boxes and that kind of thing, and microtransactions and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, that makes them a ton of money. So, again, from a business perspective, they'd be silly not to do it, right? But the hope is that then all the good things that come out of those games as well will filter into real games.
Yeah.
You know?
Fingers crossed that they do stop relying too much on that easy monetization and start looking at actually, how mobile games include events, I think is an incredible thing.
Yep.
Even MMOs, I think, do not do it as well as any kind of mobile game. Fire Emblem being a great example, Fire Emblem Heroes, which I've played a little too much of to be comfortable with talking about.
Yeah, exactly. You're right, though. That's the kind of hope as a gamer. You want to see the all the best parts of video gaming, at the forefront. Doesn't always go that way, but there you go. That's life, isn't it?
That's fair. Well, I will say we have started to just go over time a little bit here. So we'll end off with just what do we have to look forward to on your channel going forward?
Oh, good question. I've actually just yesterday started recording a new series, so I'm going to be doing a playthrough of Norska on Warhammer 2, Mortal Empires campaign. So that's going to be the next thing I'm starting. Got my Three Kingdoms campaign ongoing as well, which has been like a disaster from the start. It's becoming a bit of a meme, to be honest, at this point, but persevering through with it. And then my Banner Saga series as well. So yeah, Norska's the next one to look forward to, get us hyped up for Warhammer 3, right?
Nice, good choice as well. If you were given the choice, it's unfortunately not in there for Warhammer or Warhammer 2. Go on, what god would you be supporting?
It's got to be Khorne, right? Come on. I love Khorne. In the tabletop I used to play when I was a kid, I used to play Warhammer 40k quite a lot. I was Chaos Space Marines, Khorne all the way.
The Khorne Berserkers, just lines of them.
Yeah, that's the one.
Excellent.
That's the one.
Well, it was absolutely brilliant having you on, getting into a nice bit of a chat about casual gaming, something that I do think should be talked more about, and actually in more of a positive manner, particularly by gamers themselves.
Agree.
Well,
yeah,
it's been lovely having you on, and everyone else. Yeah, I can't even speak. I'm terrible at the endings as well, if you haven't guessed.
Yeah. I'm the same, don't worry.
Go on, so yes, it's been lovely having you on, and it's lovely having everyone listen in. And until next time, from me, bye-bye, and...
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me as well.
Peace out.